Good evening, everyone, and hope you're well. Just wanted to really catch up and do a quick video, to be honest, because I've not done enough of these. So I do apologise to anyone that sort of missed the old videos from 2019. The reason why I wanted to get on the video today was a couple of things. To sort of catch up with people, let them know that still around in terms of from the video content point of view. Been working on quite a few different large deals, from development projects up to sort of institutional stuff across Manchester, Birmingham and London, so that's always interesting. And also been working on the launch of the podcast as well, which is an interesting concept, the Best in Property podcast, which we've already got some amazing guests lined up, so I can't wait for you all to listen to them. One thing that's obviously been, I think everyone's been talking about over the last day, 2-3 days, and probably for the last sort of 18 months really, is the HS2. It seems to go from one thing to the next thing, which I think is the British public. We like to squabble and talk, have our own different opinions on something. And I just wanted to put it into perspective of the HS2, in my opinion, and why I think what I think, and the ways we probably should reflect on the situation. I think obviously the high-speed train concept has been going around for quite some time now. It's not something new, of course, to the UK market. It's something which, again, we're still nowhere near complete. Well, we're not even started in the ground really on a lot of it. So we're nowhere near completion in terms of with the main route from probably London to Birmingham. We've still got a good, call it 10, 15, 20 years before anything's done, to be honest. But it's nice to see we're starting out. We're starting step by step. But it's just frustrating for me as to why, with so much positive, so much interesting opportunities that have arisen within the UK, that we still have liked to talk negatively about something within the UK market, whether that be, it's going to take forever, or it's going to go over budget, and yeah, it may well do. But these are the things that I think the UK needs. Of course, I'm from Manchester. I know Andy Burnham and a lot of the councillors and a lot of people from the northern powerhouse market, especially around Manchester, have talked quite deeply about getting the local transportation system sorted, and I believe there's a massive need for that. The train system, Northern Rail, is just shocking. Up and down from Stockport to New Mills to Bolton, to all these different parts, between the suburbs around sort of Greater Manchester area, they're not great, and we know, and I think we all recognise that, with trains being delayed and trains rarely being on time. And I think Sacha Lord mentioned it very, very well in a recent during TV appearance, that people are losing jobs because of this. But I think rather than us sitting here and saying, the HS2's not great for this and this and that, yeah, there's always pros and cons to things, and there's always negatives that arise with these large scale projects, whether that be a commercial asset, whether that be a mixed use resi, whatever it is, there's always people going to have an opinion. I think the HS2 will do amazing things for the UK. Being able to connect places like Manchester to London in a short space of time is not a negative, it's a positive. And what that does do, it brings so much more opportunities from a global scene to the UK market. Of course, we've had the situation with the Brexit, and I think stuff like the HS2 allows us to become that entity of our own, and have that access and transportation system which people can look at around the world and come to the UK and not have to be frustrated by what we've got currently in place. And of course, the Virgin trains, the train from Manchester to London, Stockport to London, has served as well. But still, there needs to be something that's a bit more efficient, a bit more appropriate for the way the market's going across the UK, whether that's Manchester, Birmingham, Leeds, Liverpool, of course always London. So I think the HS2 is very positive, and I think especially with and I know from our side, when we're bringing investors into the UK, whether that be from the Middle East, Southeast Asia, where the HS2 is a massitive thing, and they recognise that, because I'm sure they can recognise it not only within the countries that they live in, and they do understand the benefits in their own, obviously, home of living. I think it's a massive push for where the UK needs to be, and anyone that sort of sits there and says that the HS2 isn't a great idea for the UK market, again, the money that's going to cost, yeah, there's a few more things that the UK needs to get sorted. But as a whole, the HS2 concept is massively needed for the growth of the cities in the UK. Just the accessibility for the likes of big corporates coming from different European cities, from parts of America, from different parts of the world that eventually will possibly have HQs in the UK. And you can start to see that big brands like Amazon who are choosing Manchester over London. But London will always be London. And I think we need to recognise that having the HS2 brings in that connectivity to the cities in a more efficient manner. So, of course, the British public, we love to talk and have our own opinions on things. I think the HS2 is something that we need to definitely consider. There's always going to be pros and cons to everything. Not everyone's going to be in agreement with it. But I think as a developer, as an investor, advising institutions around the world, whether that be pension funds, I think it's massive. And I know we like to take our time with things, but and again, I guess it puts things into perspective of with Japan. They're in obviously early stage discussions about a high-speed train that's going to be up to 311 miles per hour. We're still really, well, obviously just got the approval and we got the word from the man himself, Mr. Boris. So I think we do need to get our act together. We do need to unite on this, because talking about it, squabbling over it is never going to solve the issue that we've got. The transportation system in the UK 100% needs to be improved. It needs to become a bit of an efficient system. And there's always going to be issues with that. There's always going to be time, and yeah, it probably will cost a bit more than we need. But I'm sure once it's done, I'm sure taking with the train, high-speed train, from what they say an hour to Manchester to London, I'm sure you're not going to complain when it's done. So I'd like to see the structure of the pricing one day when it finally does complete, because I think again prices in the UK are ridiculous, especially Manchester. Again, touching on what Sacha Lord said about the cost of transportation in the north is just crazy. But I think we just need to get our act together, unite, get it done, and let's see where it can take us.